remember falling in love with someone whom you thought was the one? Remember those moments you shared together and you felt as if nothing in this world would ever separate both of you? But unfortunately, something happens and both of you are forced, to kind of separate. But separating isn't the issue. You just can't seem to forget this person. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Catholic Faith Forum. Today, we'll be talking on the topic, how to get over your ex. Joining me today is a very, very special guest. I'm sure you can't wait to meet him. So don't go anywhere, because right after this break, we will be meeting him. Stay tuned. Welcome back, Saints. You're watching Catholic Faith Forum. I'm your host, Staphenie Onye. So today we'll be talking on the topic, how to get over your ex. And joining me to discuss this topic is Prince Francis Chilaka. Welcome, Prince Francis Chilaka.
Thank you. Thank you, viewers, as well.
It's really nice to have you on the show.
It's a pleasure.
Honestly. So Prince Francis Chilaka is a social worker, social commentator, and a political activist. He's the executive director of Keep Up the Hope, popularly known as KUTH, and he is blessed with 3 children. You're very welcome, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so I see here that you're a prince. Tell me about it. I've never met a prince before. It's only on African Magic Epic that I see them.
Well, forget what you see on TV. It's make-believe.
Are you for real?
Yes. All the things you see where a prince gets married to...
Gets married to a poor girl. Or then his father tells him he has to inherit all the whole
It's just
land.
unfortunate that those who write for them, the scripts, they don't do proper investigations.
Are you serious?
That's the problem with Nollywood. They're so shallow, they don't do investigations. So they don't really know. They just throw everything and then they believe people will buy it.
So majority of those things we're seeing on African Magic Epic is not real.
They make-believe.
Are you for real?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
All right.
All right, thank you so much for coming, sir. So we're getting right into the topic. So who is an ex? How would you define an ex?
Sometimes we seem to have definitions of issues and relationships that do not augur well with what we want.
Yeah.
First of all, you need to define a relationship. You need to know what you're into with somebody. And you need to know at what point that relationship is going to be referred to as ex. And what makes it an ex.
So what actually makes it an ex? Let's say we quarreled. Okay, I'm talking from experience now because I'm a youth and I know how we actually face it. Let's say we quarreled and decided to go on and break up. We're an ex now. Isn't that it?
When you talk about youths in terms of relationships, a lot of youths don't even understand what relationship really is.
Okay.
There's more to a relationship than meets the eye. People need to understand the fact that there is commitment, there's responsibility in every relationship. And the moment those commitments and responsibilities are not upheld, then what are you doing? So the day you wake up and you say, I can't take what this person is giving to me. I can't continue living with this person or having anything to do with this person. What it means is that at that point in time, you have moved on. There are no two ways about it. You have moved on. And the moment you move on, it means that that relationship is dead. And once it is dead, it means that everybody bear your father's name.
Seriously?
So at that point in time, you are both visitors to each other, and you must maintain that status quo.
Okay, so you said that before we even enter a relationship, you should know what you are looking for in the relationship. So if what you're saying is no longer met and you want to break it up, that is when you call that person.
You need to break it up first before you call the person an ex.
Okay, you break it up first before you then call.
You don't break a relationship one leg in, one leg out. Like I tell a lot of young people, I say, stop it, I like it. It doesn't add up. You either like it or you don't like it. Don't do stop it, I like it. It's like when you're toasting a babe and the babe wants you to put in more effort. She'll be saying, leave me, female. But in the real sense, she wants you.
She wants more.
She wants more action. She wants more, more of your presence. Now, the thing is, at that point in time, when you become so close to each other, there's this attachment in relationships. And those attachments define what that relationship has in hold for everybody. Yeah. So I always tell people, you should define what you want.
In that relationship?
Yes, define it. And when you define it, you tell the person, look, these are the things I can take. These are the things I cannot take. Okay. When you do that, you find out that the issue of domestic violence abuse will disappear. But unfortunately, people don't sit down to discuss. They just go in. And then we know that most relationships are not really relationships. They are more of lust than reality. So if you're lustful about somebody, you can't call the person an ex because there's really no substance in that relationship. But a relationship must have substance. And that substance is what determines how far the both of you are ready to go. And if there's real substance in the relationship and things don't work out the way you want and you call it quit, let it be quit.
Let it be quit. So now let's say you've called it quit. He's an ex now. But you're finding it difficult to, get over the person. Probably you'll just be like, just remember this guy, I just remembered what he did for me then. But you can't seem to forget the person. What do you advise to someone? Like, you can't forget this ex-girlfriend, you can't forget your ex-boyfriend. What do you tell them?
The day you wake up, if I'm in a relationship with you and you wake up and you tell me it's all over, I move on. The moment you tell somebody it's over, what it means is that your expectations in that relationship has not been met. So if you go back and you start thinking about that person, you're being, how do I put it? You're being very wicked, you're being very selfish. It's normal. But the moment you say it is quit, it's quit. So, I've had situations where young people come to me and they say, I want to commit suicide. I say, okay, there's rope there, go and use it.
God of mercy.
It's the truth. I want to go and die. I say, come, I'll give you, I'll help you to die. Because what they want is pity party. I don't have room for that. So people in a relationship must know what they want. They must be smart enough to know at what point to say, I am done. And when you say you are done, so why would you tell somebody it's over and you go and start thinking about that person?
So are you trying to say we can't remember the ex again? It's not right to remember the person or the nice times you had?
No. Nobody's saying you shouldn't do that. But what I'm saying is that you must draw boundaries. And you must respect those boundaries. And that is what keeps you going. I'll give you a typical example. When I lost my wife in 2013, it was difficult. It was really, really difficult. I had 3 kids. And I needed to move on. I needed to be sincere with myself. I needed to tell myself the gospel truth. She's moved on. And I got my strength from the scripture which says, till death do you part. So at that point in time, I just said to myself, it's done. I have to move on. We need to be truthful to ourselves. A lot of people are not truthful to themselves. And that is why you always see somebody running back to their vomit.
Honestly.
And then, so let me just say this. When you run back to your vomit, you forget that vomit must have been touched by some other person.
Wow.
And some other person must be holding that vomit in sacred way. You just lost out. So why going back so if you go back and he's already dating somebody else, what do you want him to do? To discard that person? It's not possible. You just become a second-class citizen in his life.
Honestly, thank you so much for that, sir. All right, guys, let's quickly go on a break and find out who the saint of this week is. Please stay tuned.
Our saint of the week is Saint Pontian and Hippolytus. Saint Pontian was born in Rome in the late 2nd century. He was elected as the Bishop of Rome in 230, but his tenure was short-lived. In 235, he was exiled to the mines of Sardinia by the Roman Emperor Maximinus Thrax, who was persecuting Christians at the time. While in exile, Pontian resigned as bishop in order to allow the church to elect a new bishop. He died in Sardinia in 235, and his remains were later brought to Rome. Saint Hippolytus was also born in Rome in the late 2nd century. He was a theologian and a prolific writer, and he became known for his opposition to the teachings of Pope Callistus I. Hippolytus was excommunicated from his church for his views, and he became the leader of a schismatic group that opposed the Pope. However, during the persecution of Christians under Maximinus Thrax, Hippolytus was arrested and imprisoned. According to tradition, he reconciled with the church while in prison and was martyred by being dragged to death by horses in 236. The feast day of Saint Pontian and Hippolytus is celebrated on August 13th in the Roman Catholic Church. They are considered to be examples of Christian unity and forgiveness, as they were once opponents, but were ultimately united in their faith and their willingness to suffer for Christ. St. Porcian and Hippolytus, pray for us.
Welcome back, guys. You're still watching Catholic Faith Forum. We're still on the topic, how to get over your ex. And here we have a guest who has been talking to us on ways to get over our ex. So, Mr. Prince Chilaka, so we're talking on, getting over your ex. So I have a quick question. What if, this ex, you've gotten over him, okay? You guys have broken up now. But unfortunately, he's your colleague at work. So you guys are always, meeting. And one thing is that how to break off with someone is like giving him space. Giving someone space makes you forget about the person. But unfortunately, this person, you're still seeing him every day at work, or you're still seeing him regularly. How do you cope with that?
First and foremost, the question I will ask you is, were you dating while you were working? It is totally unacceptable in all standards.
So it's not right to
It is totally unacceptable.
Wow.
Because if you're dating your colleague, and maybe he's a manager, and you are, say, a receptionist,
Okay.
the human mind has a way of playing tricks. One day you just wake up and you think you're the manager. It's like in the military, they say the wife of a major is a general. So you will just think in your mind that, it's my boyfriend. If he gives instruction to everybody, the instruction is not applied to me. So for me, it's a no-no. Don't have anything to do with anybody you're working with. It does not allow for sanity, it does not allow for respect, it does not allow for dignity. So if you're dating somebody where you're working and you break up, you need to go and do special prayer, deliverance. You know what I'm saying? Some people would actually put it to you. They will be bringing more and more ladies to you, come and shine before you, people prettier than you, and you will just have high blood pressure and kaput.
Are you for real?
Yes. Now, if you're going to the same church and you break up, you just educate yourself. Oh, he attends 8 o'clock mass. Then you make sure you attend for 10 o'clock mass.
Wow.
You must avoid that person. Because if you don't avoid that person, sometimes evil will come into your mind. You'll be thinking evil things because you're seeing the person thriving. You're seeing the person happy. The problem with a lot of people with their ex is that they don't want to see them happy. The same thing happens in marriages. When a marriage breaks up, the wife may not want to see the man happy. The man may not want to see the wife happy. And then before you know it, they say one person is monitoring the other, monitoring spirit and all of that. It's just because the way the human mind works.
Okay.
So, for me, I will always say, have your boundaries. Oh, hi. It ends there. The Igbo say that when a handshake passes handshake, it becomes something else. So you need to avoid it. The thing that made you call somebody an ex means that the person is not good enough for you. So if somebody is not good enough for you, so what else are you thinking about? Except you're daft.
I see.
Or you're sick upstairs.
I see. I think the problem mostly is that before we even enter a relationship, we don't define it, as you rightly said. Because that's what I've actually picked from the whole topic. So now I want to ask, for those that have had sexual intimacy with someone already, so is it true that those kind of people find it difficult to break up with that person since they've actually had sexual contact with that person?
There is what we call lust.
Okay.
Sexual intimacy needs to be properly defined. You need to define it to know, are you lustful about the person or are you genuinely in love with that person? If you're genuinely in love with the person and you break up, the issue of your sexual relationship will be the secondary thing on your mind.
Wow.
Yes, it is a secondary thing. It is when you break up, you now begin to remember the good things about that person. Maybe, this person wakes up in the morning and prepares my breakfast. This person, I can gist with this person from now till tomorrow. Now, but it is only when you are lustful of somebody, that is when your mind becomes clouded with that sexuality.
Yeah.
So you need to, on your own first and foremost, you need to define what you're going into in terms of the sexual relationship. And you need to also know how strong are you. It's not a matter of him now, it's you. Like people would tell me, I can control myself. I said, no, you don't control yourself. It's just the grace of God. If you bring a monk here now and lock the monk with a lady in the room naked, you'll be shocked at what will happen. Because the animalistic instinct of human beings takes over immediately. But you need to define what you want. As I tell people, the first thing you define in dating somebody is not how sexual they are. It's not even how beautiful they are. The first thing you look out for is how mannerful are they? What are their vision? What is it that drives them? Is it education? Is it knowledge? Is it common sense? So you need to know what drives you to somebody, what draws you to somebody. But if you are drawn to somebody for the sake of sexual satisfaction, then you're not in love with that person. You're just satisfying an urge. And so whenever you think of that urge, you remember that person. But if the real reason why you're in love with that person is other than that, you will find out that letting go will not even be a problem because you're not lustful.
This question even brings me to something else. So many people, especially you, they say that seeing someone with good character that has all these good qualities, it's not so easy. It's not so easy to get that kind of person.
Says who?
Says youths.
Because the youths themselves are not, they don't even know what they want. The Nigerian youths don't know what they want.
Oh. Yes, so would you say it's their fault?
I said it's their fault. See, the youths are beginning to realize the fact that they have a say in this country now.
Yes.
And we saw that play out in the 2023 elections, where the youths are saying, we are tired of these old people. We want a change. But when you sit back, you still find out that some of those youths are still going back to beg these people for crumbs. So it brings back to the fact that the youths of this country over years have been bastardized. They don't think straight. Whatever they give to them, they take. So, but for any youth who has common sense, who is well educated, who has a vision, I always tell my kids, I said, see, it's not Uhuru. And that's why once in a while I take them to motherless babies' homes. I take them to orphanage homes. I take them to old people's homes. Why do I do this? So that they understand that it's not what you see. It's not the story you're hearing out there. For the fact that you have a roof over your head, you have food, you have clothes, it's a privilege.
Yeah, that life is not a bed of roses.
Good. So a lot of youths don't understand that. That's why a lot of youths are going into drugs. A lot of youths are going into prostitution. Because you feel, I like that thing, that shoe she's wearing. And you're not asking yourself, how did she get it? Well, you want it. And so because you want it, you're ready to do anything to get it. People are not satisfied with who they are. So it's not a matter of, it's unfortunate, but this is what the society has placed before us. And then a lot of us need to fight our way out of it to become responsible citizens.
Thank you so much for that, sir. Thank you so much. All right, guys, let's meet the Know Your Faith crew for the Know Your Faith session. Stay tuned.
If you're a cradle Catholic like me, you picked up certain gestures and courtesies like genuflecting, kneel or bowing from your parents or older siblings, or you learnt them during catechism classes. But as time goes on, you've become so familiar with them that you do not know why you do them. Hello people, and welcome to another episode of Know Your Faith series. I am Elefachi. 10 simple courtesies to observe during the Mass are: 1. Come a few minutes early. Get to the church at least 10 minutes early. You probably feel more comfortable, have a chance to sit wherever you want, pray and prepare yourself better for Mass. 2. Don't pass the front of the altar when the Mass is on. Except for special cases like harvest programs and the likes, take the sides of the church instead. 3. Silence your phone. I see some persons answering calls inside the church or even answering and leaving the church. That is wrong. The right thing, if it's urgent, is for you to walk out of the church first before taking the call. 4. Genuflect towards the tabernacle when entering and leaving the church. 5. Always allow the priest to sit before you sit. 6. Obey the directives of the church warden. 7. You don't eat or drink during the Mass. Speaking of eating and drinking, you should limit the occasions of feeding your toddlers in church. It is important to instill self-discipline in them at a tender age. There is yet another outrageous trend among mothers who break off a piece of communion they have received and feed it to their children. This is very wrong. Persons who do this should desist from it. 8. Stay till the final blessing and don't leave the church before the priest. If you have decided to attend a particular mass, see it through to the end and don't be in a hurry to leave during the announcement or at any other time. How you end the mass is just as important as how you begin. 9. Get your offering ready before the mass. Not when the collective basket gets to you or it's your turn to file out to the collection box, you begin to struggle with your bag or your wallet. Also remember to handle money gently. Don't squeeze it like something meant for the refuse basket. Respect the legal tender. And lastly, focus on the mass, especially during the readings and homily. If you start Facebooking, WhatsApping, or going through social media in the name of following the reading, you are wrong. Going through announcements or other adverts in the bulletin is just like reading bulletin or going through your phone on a date. It's annoying and shows disrespect, right? Oh yes, that's how it is with Christ too when you come for Mass. Which of these do you do and which will you work on? Tell us in the comments and don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video. Till next time, be bold, be Catholic.
Thank you so much, KYF crew, for that amazing topic. So back to our discussion, Prince Francis. I like the prince. All right, so I'd like to ask this question. You know, there are some persons that feel attracted to persons that they shouldn't be attracted with. For example, a single person, you know, feeling attracted to a priest, or a single person feeling attracted to a married person. What should such people do in these situations where they're having feelings for people they shouldn't have with?
Feeling is something you can't hold back.
Okay.
Yes, it's something you can't hold back, but you must also, we're human beings.
Okay.
That's what differentiates us from animals. But you must know why you're having that feelings for that person. What are your intentions? What are your motives? Now, first of all, this is what I tell priests. I always tell them, when you encourage young ladies after Mass, they come to Father's house, they sit down, they're gisting, you're giving them drink, you're giving them this, you're encouraging them. Ideas are building in their head. That is one side. 2, Christian mothers after church, go home and attend to your families. Go and take care of your husbands and your children. No, they are running after Father. Father too is smiling and opening teeth for them. There's a problem. This is where it starts. Okay. So everybody must know at what point in time to say, I've crossed that boundary and I need to hold myself in check. Boundaries. Yes, I need to hold myself in check. You know, so the same thing applies to if a married woman begins to wear what she shouldn't wear, begins to carry herself in a manner that depicts that she's not married, automatically she is looking for trouble. Automatically. You see a married woman, she doesn't wear her wedding ring, her wedding band, you know, she dresses more sexy than her own daughter. Then there must be something at the back of her mind. So these are issues that needs to be properly addressed. And that's why I am one of those that have always advocated for the Catholic Church. I said, look, the only way you have good priests is let them continue to live in communities. Communities? Yes. I don't believe in all these parish priests living alone. I don't believe in that. I was a monk for 4 years, so I understand where I'm coming from. Let them live in communities. Maximum 5. Out of that 5, they vote one person as their superior. That will be total orderliness. When you're coming to visit the priest in the priest's house, you know that when you come, you'll see another priest. Common sense will tell you 5 minutes, 3 minutes, you're done. Whatever you've come for, bang, 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 you say it and go. But when you have a parish priest that has a big house to himself, a big parlor, and everything, what do you expect? Temptation will always be there. So let us not hide. I don't believe in painting things or cutting things up. I just tell you the way it is.
So you said we should set boundaries.
It's important to set boundaries. If there's a young man and you see a married woman getting close to you, look at her first and run. You need to run. Adebo said so. He said, flee.
Run away.
You need to, because before you know it, you'll be dragged into what you didn't expect. You will be dragged into it. So flee. I have a lot of friends who are priests. And I know how some of them, when they see young girls coming close, they just tell you, say, Chilaka, let's go. Because nobody is short of temptation.
Nobody is short of temptation. Very interesting. Thank you so much for that, sir. So is there any final words you have for viewers at home, or young people that are in a relationship, or those that have already gotten over their ex, or those that are yet to get over their ex? Just final words for them at home.
Well, the thing that has made you turn somebody into an ex, hold on to it.
Okay.
Whatever it is about the person that has defined the person in your life as an ex, whether as a girlfriend, boyfriend, wife, and the day you say, this is my ex, stick to it. Treat that person as
an
ex, as a visitor, and move on with your life.
Set boundaries.
We don't need all the drama. Because when you allow drama to play out in your life, you have crisis in your hands. The day you begin to think of your ex in any way, it means you want to go back into bondage. And that's for me, that's a simple thing.
Oh, this is so awesome. Thank you so much for this amazing session.
You're welcome.
So that's it, guys. We've learned so much about how to get over our ex. So we've said that setting boundaries is a major way to get over your ex. And at the same time, there are various ways in order to avoid temptations while in a relationship. And it's also advisable that you set up, you tend to know what you want before you enter a relationship. So we've come to the end of the show, guys. If you have questions or comments or even contrary opinions, feel free to drop them in the comments section. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Dominica Media, and do not forget to follow us on our social media platforms at CFF on TV. And until next time, guys, keep being saints in jeans and shirts. Bye-bye.